is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, closet swing traders? Welcome back to a Wednesday crazy market day. As always, we will see what happens. Let me do a quick screen share to get to the charts. We'll kind of do a little bit of a rundown. Pretty wild day after markets. The good news for us today, this morning, and we'll see. Maybe we don't play it at all. Who knows? But we do have the six stocks that we're watching, and one of them being AMD did report earnings. We should definitely have the ability to play that today. And then there's a sympathy play for NVIDIA as well. So 2 out of 4 could be related on some news. Maybe Apple gets something, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be as closely related. So we'll see. Matt R says, I don't have a closest. I don't even know what that's reference to, Matt. No clue. But thanks for playing. Appreciate it. Eliza says, I feel it's been so long. I need some DJ trades. Well, we're back, baby. Let's go. We're so happy to be back. And then we got the main event right after. We have Johnny Guarco coming in at 11 today. So going to be a fun day. And then it's all access passive real life trading. So the content just does not stop. It just keeps on going. Like mail. It just, you take it out of your mailbox the next day, bam, more mail. It never ends. It just keeps going, which is fantastic. Oh God, closet. Hector's in the house. Hector enjoying the. I went outside my house yesterday for like the first time in 6 months. I'm like, now it's starting to feel like it feels like Florida weather here. It feels like Florida weather right here, which is fantastic. So, the SPY itself, right now, again, not a lot of action actually. So we have not done a lot. My SPY targets to the upside. And I think we might be range bound, but I'll explain what happens if we break any of those. And then we're going to get to the tech in a little bit too. So 417.87, or actually about 418, that's going to be we have a VPOC that just did not break yesterday. So we look decent coming out of the gate. We just did not break the, or actually towards the end of the day, we were not able to get above there. Like we opened and just immediately got smacked down, and then for most of the rest of the day, that 418 is a huge number. We do have a lot of VPOCs to the upside, so even if we break that, the next one becomes 420.51, the next one 422.80, and then 427.57. That would be a massively bullish day. I don't know that happens today. Again, we just 3 strong levels ahead of us. I do think at some point that 427.20 does come in for some kind of a retest. If we start breaking down 415.58, the next level down becomes 411. So about $4 to the downside if we do not hold this 415.50 level. So we got to make sure that we're doing something that we could. Pat says, but not junk mail. No. Yeah, just not junk mail, but the reference. You get it, Pat. You get it. You just messing with me. All good. Michael's in the house. What's up, Michael? Heard you've been crushing life. Yeah, man. Let me pull up the cues. So, yeah, again, we're gonna see. I don't think we see a big push on the actual market right out of the gate. I think we have too many VPOCs in the way. So what ends up happening, I think, is a relatively slower start to the market as a whole. Qs look very similar as well. And then once we start to finally break it, we do have a catalyst as to why it could break. Fed day. How much basis points are they cutting? Is it going to be 50? Or are we going with 25? We will soon find out. This time it's personal. So we'll see. But it would make sense if we're just kind of bumping around until the Fed comes out. 2 p.m. is correct. Yep. I believe it's 2 p.m. today. And I believe Jerome's speaking, so that means Fed report comes out at 2, and then Jerome probably speaks at 2:30 if I'm correct on that at all. We'll see. As far as the Qs, let me get some levels. If we start to break things again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours yesterday. For the most part, nada. Very tight, very tight range. We're waiting. We're waiting. So below us, we have 316.01. That level held. That would be the level I'd be looking for. So if we do start sinking at open, which I don't think, I'm a little bit more bullish on this market right now. Until the Fed comes out, then all bets are off and we'll just reassess. But for right now, without any external catalyst, I would actually be a little bit bullish. I think we sold off really quick, really fast, and I could see some upside. But 316.01 would be the downside for the Qs. And then we have 319.55, so we're pretty much at 1 right now. 320.38 would be another potential little zone. So once we get out of that, though, once we start breaking that 320 zone, the 320.60-ish, in that range somewhere, the next stop becomes 425, and you'll see a much bigger push to the upside. 327.46 is the one above that one. So we have some room to the upside, but we are going to be bouncing around a little bit, I think, first. Is today Fed minutes, or is it just a rate announcement? I think 2 p.m. is the Fed release. Release the minutes right after that, or do they wait for the press conference to 4:15 Eastern? I don't think they're waiting. Yeah, I think it's 2:30. Most of the time it's 2:30. Somebody, if you guys want to look it up for me, let me know. I believe the report comes out at 2, and then the Fed meeting is 2:30. That's usually typically how it goes, all Eastern Standard Time. Pat says, is there a video on the volume profile setups? I have different numbers than you. I'm sure there is. Yep. Type in volume profile real life trading into YouTube, and it will probably come up. I believe Tracy did one. I'm not 100% sure, but I think she did. If not, hit me up, dan@reallifetrading.com, and we'll discuss differences in numbers. We'll discuss our differences. All right, so let's take a look at the NVIDIA. No, let's kick it off with AMD today. They got that catalyst today. Solid earnings across the board, beat everywhere. I do think Falco also posted a message in Slack earlier today, so appreciative of that. But AMD and Airbnb, in his humbled opinion, is the ones to watch, and I do not disagree with that at all. Huge beat on AMD. This $100 number, this nice whole grandmother number, $100 is going to be probably some kind of resistance. That would be my biggest fear, concern, complaint, and grievance, is that we have about $3. We do have some type of ceiling that this thing could hit before getting rejected. If we are looking at VPOCs, though, that means those spots are a little bit tighter. That's going to take us to about 97.42 and 97.68. So my spot would be, we'd have to almost break 97.68, and then we get a beautiful upside, which is not actually at 100. It's actually at 101.12. So that would give us the absolute best move if we could break that 97.68. Otherwise, we did gap into a little bit of a chop zone. There's a lot of VPOCs from previous day ranges in that zone. We do have that bullish catalyst. We had some buying that came in yesterday. So if we look at yesterday's chart on AMD, we did have a little bit of buying. I mean, nothing obviously as incredible as the almost near 10% gains that we had after hours. But there has been a couple days of buying, so you might have some people profitable. This thing was at $90, a decent spot for people to pick up some shares on a company that I think in 10 years is higher than this. So you might have some people profitable on this one. We might take a little dip, clear out some profit takers. But again, the number I'm looking for is roughly to break that 97.68. So if we could break that, we have a decent push up on that one. Nvidia could get a little sympathy play. Juan says she has multiple videos up. Yep. Yeah, if anyone's created it, I would say Tracy for sure. My girl Tracy. So Nvidia, I think, could be a little bit of a sympathy play. I was actually looking at this one for. Let me share my. Let me share a screen. I sent this to my mentor group yesterday, last night at like, I don't know, 1 a.m. or something like that. But this is the wave count that I've got right now for Nvidia. So I think this is some type of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our ABC. We start to get above some of those levels, especially with VPOC. Let me zoom in a little bit more. So I think that's a full on wave count. I think Nvidia might be starting to set up for some kind of potential swing trade. I would start looking at it personally. The next VPOC for this one is 201.62. So again, a little resistance there. If that one breaks, we will have room up to about 214.57. So a relatively decent move. I actually think Nvidia, out of the two, I think Nvidia has a little bit more potential today than AMD. And again, AMD still could have $3 if we break that 97.68 zone. But I think we just have a little bit more room. So I'm watching Nvidia very closely today as well. And again, we'll see what happens. If my thought would be that if AMD does break that 97.68, Nvidia is probably breaking that next VPOC as well, because they'll move a little bit similar to each other. Andrew says, any reason I chose the hourly? Just to get a long. I just wanted to count the waves in a longer term basis. That's all. Yep. So a lot of times, what I'm looking for is I'm actually looking a lot of times on the hourly and the 15-minute charts for the most part. I'll trade off the 3-minute charts if that makes sense, but I'm picking my entries off the 3-minute. But I want to see where we're at longer term. I want to know how much room we have. Like if I get zoned into a 3-minute chart, I'll lose my footing for the most part, if that makes sense. Pat says AMD up on earnings report, so maybe semis will lead us up more. You still have the chip shortage situation, which I mean, I don't know. I don't know exactly, because one's making the product, one's using product. So I'm not 100% sure. But I do think Nvidia will benefit from the AMD report, if that makes sense. Let's take a look at the other one. I'm probably going to swap Roblox for Airbnb today. Refiners looking to continue. They've been on fire. Yeah, so I don't know, semiconductors maybe. That's a good point, Pat. I didn't really think that one. Airbnb. So again, this is a company I like, I own. I've been building positions in AMD, so pretty excited about that gap. Let me just look at the targets on this one. Again, it jumped. It started to fade a little bit, but I'm a fan of AMD as well. Let me just Airbnb as well. Let me just pull up the chart, see where I got VPOCs. I want to find the things with the most room. This one has room, so I'm looking for maybe we could get a pullback to 148.76. That's where I would like to initiate some kind of a long position. Obviously, we're going to trade the 10 EMA, so it might not be the exact pricing in that zone. I'll be waiting for those moving averages to kind of correct up a little bit. But 148, I'm actually going to put a 148. I'm going to put my alarm at 148.95 just so we have some extra time to prepare during the live room. And then targets on this one, I think we get to about, before we start pushing it, I think we get to about 152.69. So that does give us about $4 to the upside. Again, I want some kind of a little bit further of a pullback and then move. We'll see if that comes in. What was the price again? Long-term price? Honestly, I think Airbnb in the future could be $300 a share. I don't see why it wouldn't. I know people that rent using Airbnb, like they're renting homes using Airbnb, and they've been crushing it. Like, I don't think there's a shortage of people traveling, not using Airbnb. I think people are still trying to get out, and even in a COVID situation, if people are still concerned about COVID, would you rather? You still want to travel and do something? Would you rather stay at a hotel with a whole bunch of people, or would you rather just have an Airbnb on a safer play? Right. But it's not for me, it's not a COVID play. It's just I like it long term. I like the technology behind it. I think I think in the next couple of years, I think we have some serious growth behind it. All right, let's take a look at Delta real quick. How much time we got left? We got 13 minutes. AMD, NVIDIA, and Airbnb have just been eating my time today. It's all right. It's okay. Delta obviously has been on an absolute tear. It did fade a little bit in pre-market. We are down. So again, I'm probably not. I don't know what I want to do here. To the upside, 43.37 is going to be the VPOC from yesterday. To the downside, we are sitting at one VPOC right now, roughly about 43.06. So if that breaks, we do have a little bit of room to the downside. It takes us to about 42.31. So that gives us about 70, almost 80 cents to the downside. But again, nothing too crazy. We've been just kind of consolidating lately, at least after a bullish move. So Delta, I probably won't be trading today. Tesla. Let's take a look. So Tesla. I mean, myself and one of the guys doing the one-on-one coaching, we were texting each other. We actually took advantage of this move yesterday on Tesla. So we got in somewhere around here on calls, and we were pretty much we didn't get out right at the top. I think we got out at like 9:16ish, somewhere around there with some calls. So we made decent money yesterday. And then I was texting him throughout the day. I'm like, I'm glad we just took profit and didn't even try to get back in, because it did nothing. It stayed flat even after hours, nothing. So we are just consolidating. On the 1 hour chart, we are still above the 10 EMA. So we're being propped up on that, but we do have a level of 909.35. The key level, if we could break that 909.35, obviously we saw 920 as some type of resistance. That VPOC at 921.88. If that breaks that bullish, then we have a ton of room. We have up to about 980.35. So we have a lot of room. That 920 zone, 921 zone, that has been rough for Tesla. That's going to be a strong one for Tesla. And today, at least, we have one more VPOC we have to try to beat, which is roughly 909.14. So we have to get above 909.14. That could take us to about 921. I think we hit the relatively same resistance. However, if in a case, which maybe the Fed helps move the market, maybe that's enough bullishness to push higher. But then at that point, we have about a $50 move ahead of us. Maloney says, Dan, stop killing my business. Nah, you just gotta rotate. Just get a couple Airbnbs in your portfolio, Maloney. You'll be good. You'll be all right. I mean, if I was one person traveling for business, I'm not gonna probably rent an Airbnb, right? So there's still some hope. Still some hope. Otherwise, hotels are dead. Just kidding. All right. Apple, AAPL. I don't think these guys did much after hours as well. So not a huge catalyst or reason to want to trade these things for right now. To the downside, we are holding a little bit of support of 159.19. To the upside, we have about 160.09. Again, not a lot of room. If we could break that 160.09, then we have room. That would take us to about 163.53. 163.53. So that would be my play. If we get above those levels, we should have a little bit more room. Right now, we're just kind of squeezing. Nothing too appealing. Greg says, how much time do I put in for research before I get on the mic? I do a little bit here and there. A little bit here and there. Realistically, probably about 45 minutes. And then just kind of go off the charts from that point. Let me see if I missed anything in YouTube. If time, could you look at Starbucks? We could. So they moved bullish, I believe, after hours as well. Yep. So beat earnings. Yeah, I'll tend to focus more on stocks that I feel like I might be trading, and then stocks that are not really moving, but we're going to probably be looking at today anyway. We'll probably breeze through those a little bit quicker. This is a nice gap. We are into a little bit of resistance on Starbucks, but we are trapping. So we had some good volume here. That was the biggest volume move that we've had up until this one. So I think 83.72-ish. That's going to be the key number. We got all our moving averages still kind of above us. That was a good earnings. And again, Starbucks, do I think they're going to be around for quite some time? I do. Probably not a bad spot to look for at least adding some shares. Trade wise, let's see where we get for some targets. So we're into a VPOC right now. That's going to take us to about 79.60, which we're at right now. I think this one probably actually fades down a little bit. Target would be 78.90. If in some reason we break out higher, you're looking at 80.71. So to the upside from here, you have about $1.20, about maybe $1.10. To the downside, we have about 40. We have about 70 cents, something like that. So what I would prefer is we actually sell off a little bit. 78.92 would be the zone that I'm looking to buy in. See if any candles set up around that zone, and then see if we definitely have a bigger potential risk to reward at that point. But right now we are still holding, and we have a decent level of support right around the 79.58 zone. So I'd probably have to wait 3 minutes at the open. I would love to see some type of red candle come in and then take the break out of that would be my play. That makes sense. Which it says everything has major bullish RSI divergence on a daily chart. This is key week for the bulls and bears. The bulls have a great opportunity to take advantage. Yeah, I think it all comes down to the Fed today. What would be real interesting is obviously we're seeing a lot of the tech names. So I would even say Airbnb would be, it's travel, but it's also tech as well, in my opinion. But I would say that if AMD retraces all of this today and we actually close red on AMD, we close red on NVIDIA, Tesla sinks and sells. If we see tech sell today, that's going to be very extremely bearish for the markets in general. So what I would say is if we could end green, I like it right now. Everything is bullish. We'll see what happens when the Fed comes up. That's going to be the key catalyst of the day. Those tweezers on Starbucks on the daily look so good. Let me see. Yep. So you have some nice little tweezers down at 73.38 zone. And again, it is a nice gap. You're trapping a lot of people. We are gapping to a little bit of resistance. Starbucks typically doesn't move that much as well. So day trade wise, I don't really day trade it as much. Swing trade, that's fine. Today you do have some catalysts behind it, so you might get that extra move. And right now, again, you have about $1 in each side with us sitting right at some type of support. Let me see if I missed any messages. 3 minutes and 20 seconds. Thoughts on NVIDIA following AMD? Yeah, I'm actually watching NVIDIA probably a little bit closer than AMD today. I think it might have a little bit more room to run. $100 is a nice hold number, but the VPOC is actually at 101 for AMD. So I think we could break through that $100 number. I'm going to be patient, probably on AMD at the open. Sympathy play is NVIDIA for me, and we do have some room to run. And then I'm going to change Baba here to Airbnb. That would be another one that I'm just kind of watching, waiting, seeing what happens. But long term, I've got positions on both AMD and Airbnb. I've got a bigger position on Airbnb than I do AMD, and we'll see. Moderna, mRNA for David. Oh, nice little gap. Again, you are into a little bit of support resistance. Let me see if I can get some targets on this thing. mRNA. What I would love to see in a perfect world is we sell off to about 150.37. That would be my entry price to go long. I think the initial first target comes in at 154.50. And then we have 157.81. So it does have some room. We've obviously sold off a decent amount. Again, they were more like they're more of a Abivite could have a little COVID aspect to it, but they have a lot more in general. Moderna, they're right now, I think, more of a one-trick pony. So I kind of think that any gaps in this one might fade a little bit. So I wouldn't go long at the open. I would, if it comes down to that 150.30 zone, that's where I'd want to be in. JD for Daniel, JD.com. Okay, looks like it's just as useful as a duty flavored lollipop right now. So definitely selling off, not earnings, nothing like that. And yeah, it looks weak. So we had some kind of consolidation, almost maybe potentially a Harame in there. That failed. This gap probably fills. I'd be looking to continue short. Again, on this one, I play the opposite. So I'm looking for maybe a green candle comes in, look for the short breakdown of that. And we're heard would comply. CVS. So they had earnings, but they didn't really do anything. They fundamentally on the chart, I mean, the earnings weren't good enough to really pop them up higher. This one probably continues to fade a little bit lower, just on a daily charting aspect of it. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls on YouTube land, make sure you like, subscribe, and check out all of the free content on reallifetrading.com. But the market is open. So unfortunately, this is the time where we got to part ways. But we do have all day access pass. Don't forget, I mean, you guys could literally be with us your entire life. It's amazing. Just go to reallifetrading.com. Check out the all day pass. It's the newer format we have, but really from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. at night. I mean, if you carry the one, that's a lot of hours. So make sure you guys check that out. Plus, we have all the free content that you guys can take advantage of on the website. Otherwise, YouTube, I bid you adieu, and I will be back with you guys tomorrow as well. So we'll see. Good luck. Stay safe. 2 p.m. Fed meeting.